Hello friends! Welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our wellness layouts for the last week in September. And I've got these brush pens here ready to go, as well as this stencil and blending brush I may use, these stat stickers and habit trackers I made on my computer, these washi tapes I may use as well, this ink pad that I forgot to put on camera earlier, these label stickers from Michael's a while back, and these sticker sheets from sticker books from the Happy Planner. This is the last week of the September Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme is Brew Fest. So if you'd like to participate, go ahead and post your spreads up on Instagram using the hashtag PlannableSeptember2022. We'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay down some wax paper and get started on the design this week. Of course, my brew is coffee, although I don't drink caffeinated coffee much anymore. It's mainly decaf, but I still love coffee. It just kind of starts my morning. So coffee is my brew of choice. I've had these little coffee cup stickers in my stash for forever. They came out with some of the earlier Happy Planner books, like the Planner Basics and the Mom sticker books, and I've been hoarding them for quite a while. So you can see I just love their little coffee cup feel, and I used to kind of put them in my spreads here or there, but I haven't been styling my spreads in the same way as I did when I first started, so I really haven't pulled these out very much. Thought it'd be kind of cute to use those here as part of this Brewfest theme. I'm also going to try to pull in some other tones to just match up with these cups. So I'm going to be using black as a main tone, just because the cups are outlined in black, and then also the brown of the little coffee cozy that's around them. I'm going to bring that in as well. So first I'm going to go ahead and put in some washi tape here, and I get through this whole process with the wrong brown tone of washi tape. I was trying to, like I said, match up the right colors, and this one here definitely looks more like a coffee brown, but it doesn't match as well with the rest of the decor. So I do have another color that's a better fit, which I'll swap out in a minute, but just note that the color isn't quite right to start off with, just because, like I said, I'm going to try to match up that coffee cozy brown instead. Both of the washi tapes I'm going to be using came from the washi tape shop, a vintage color set that I picked up earlier in the year. And I really love that set, so I've been using it a lot, especially here in fall, because I don't have a lot of brown toned washi, but that set has a lot of really rich browns in it, and I've been using it a lot. And here you can see where I realized it was the wrong color, so I'm just going to go ahead and save those washi tapes already pre-cut and just put them right back on the roll, and then redo that step with the more, I guess, cardboard brown tone versus the coffee brown. And basically all I did was cut the washi tapes in half just so they weren't so big, so bulky there on the spread, but I still wanted to have all three of them together in one little spot, so just cut down a little bit on the bulk. And as you can see, that brown is a lot better match for the coffee cups on the spread there. So that'll be the brown we're working with, which is also why I pulled out that ink pad you see there on the side. It's supposed to be like a bronze copper color, but it's a really old pad, and when I tested it out, the color was way closer to the color I needed, which is that kind of more greenish brown tone. So that's what I'll be using for that part of the process, which you'll see at the end or near the end. And so I had done 2 already of those washi tape strips, and I felt like I needed a third. It just seems to work better when you keep things in sets of 3. So yes, I could have stuck with the two and did a more like mirrored style, but because of the placement I had on the spread with that one there kind of in the middle on the right side, I just felt like it would be much better to have something in the middle and the bottom to kind of finish things out. Trying to conserve washi tape. I'm always slightly frugal with my supplies, so instead of doing one long strip and then wasting the extra strip of washi tape that I wasn't going to use here, I'm just going to use half of one, and then since I have to cut it down anyway, down the center, just use it that way, and then I can get the most out of all of those washi tapes without wasting. And you can kind of see the technique I'm using here to just get a nice straight cut. Since the pages are separated, you really won't be able to tell that they're not a perfect matchup. I'm just going to adjust the placement of a few things and just see what I like. My idea, I think, is going to be to put the workouts there in the second box, kind of wrapped within the washi tape. So the top box will be free for more decor, and I will have the coffee cups raining down into the spread. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to have them kind of trickling down like this or have them as a border or what I wanted to do exactly. But I decided just to have them coming down into the spread. I'm not going to go overboard, I'm just going to keep it mainly at the top, but you'll see how that all turns out. Also too, last week I got a sore throat, and so my voice might be a little bit weird this week in the voiceovers. Sorry about that. It's, you know, it's just the way it is, and so I wanted to make sure I got these videos to you, even though I'm not 100% right now. Also too, what I wanted to do was to draw in my own quote, mainly because I was just lazy and didn't want to try to do it on my iPad and then transfer it over to my phone memo or find something that was a perfect fit. So I saw a quote that said, "Just brew," and I thought for a wellness kind of workout related, fitness related spread, "Just brew it" would be a really cute quote to have there. So I'm just going to write it in on this circle sticker. Again, originally I was thinking to do it with a Tombow and make it also much larger, more in onto the page, but I was a little scared, to be honest. I was like, well, if I can just do it on this label sticker, if it doesn't go well, then I can just replace the label sticker and I don't have to worry about it. So that's what I did, and I switched out to my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, which is a lot smaller tip, and that worked out well on the smaller contained circle versus the larger Tombow dual tip brush pens, which I originally pulled because I thought it would be better for larger lettering. I did use one of the Tombows in the color I pulled to match up with this brown to do a little bit of an outline behind Brew, so like a shadow almost. So I have that on there for a little bit of color. But basically that's it. So I just kind of freehanded it with a pen and it came out okay. I think it came out pretty good actually. And here I decided that I wanted to have a little bit of variation in size for the cups just to make it look a little more interesting. So I'm replacing a few of the bigger cups out with the smaller ones I got from the Planner Basics mini sticker book I had in my stash, just to kind of maybe make it seem like the cups are getting smaller, like fading away. So I think the main things are decided. I'm going to go ahead and start laying things in. I'm going to start with these boxes for my habits that I made. I'm going to separate them and then place them as their own individual boxes stacked on top of each other here on the side. One thing I've noticed that as I print black on the label paper, it tends to kind of pick up. so you get like marks of white or looks a little distressed. So I just filled it in a little bit with the Tombow Furunosuke pen that I had there just to make it look a little more solid. And now I am whitening out the top box completely using a white opaque pen. The one I use is from Sakura. It's a Jelly Roll white pen. And it's one of my favorite things. So a lot of the tools that I use when I plan are in the description below. If you're looking for something that I might have pulled out, like this pen or my cutting tool, cutting mat, things like that, you can normally find that kind of stuff down below in the description under my favorite planner things. So here comes the fun part, although it took me forever to get this ink pad out. I've had this for so many years, you guys, maybe 15. Yeah, probably like close to 15 or 20 years even. I mean, it's an old pad. And it gives you an idea how old I am. But it was when I was doing Christmas cards and things. I started out with stamping, and this is one of the earlier pads that I got. So it's still going, but it's really dry, so I'm not sure if I should use water to refresh it or something else, because it has a slight metallic feel to the ink, so I'm not exactly sure what it's made out of. But yeah, so anyway, I used it. I just had to press a lot and kind of like pick up as much ink as I could, which took a bit. I'm using my Tim Holtz splatter stencil that I've had in my stash as well, which I fell in love with the first time I saw it and had to have it. I'm using that for like a little coffee cup ring. In the past, I've done an actual coffee cup ring and laid it right there on my planner. I've shown that in the past. I didn't want to do that again per se, but it's a great way to bring some life and texture to your spreads if you don't have a stencil like this. It just gives you a little bit more of a feel of it. I actually used just black coffee to make the imprint too when I did it. The only thing you got to really think about is not making it too wet, because it might seep through the paper if it's too wet. You really just want it to be like more of a, just like a touch. So like have a little bit of coffee in a plate or something, and then like just kind of tap it through, maybe like shake the cup a little bit so there's no big drips, and then just do a quick like stamping of the bottom of the cup and see how that looks. I've done that. That's worked out great. Like I said, if it's too wet, it will bleed to the back and also might crinkle up the paper. But if it's just right, you can get a really good stamp. You might want to try it out on, some scratch paper first, just to get an idea how best to get the right stamp for you. But that technique works really well. And while I was talking, I went ahead and dropped in those stat stickers and the washi tape. Now I am going to add a little bit more color to this little quote circle I made. Just going to brush in a nice soft brown tone to the back there. I'm going to move this down. I was going to have it be over the washi tape, but I decided I wanted it to be completely free floating outside of the washi tape. So I went ahead and did that. And now I'm getting ready to put in those coffee cups. I'm going to try to roll these off for the most part. This is not the easiest thing to do. They are all very tiny stickers and none of them are touching. So it does take a bit, but I just wanted to do it this way since I've already kind of established where I wanted the stickers to go. And I just thought it would be easier than picking them up and putting them down one by one. And so I lined up the top set first, and that kind of helped establish a baseline for lining things up. And now I am kind of pulling on a diagonal. That tends to work a little bit better when you're trying to move things off of wax paper. And now that I got most of the right side on, I'm going to try again here, reset, and do the left side. pull those guys off. Again, kind of started at a diagonal on this one, but then I decided they're somewhat in line, so I'll go ahead and just pull them off in sections. And I made a few adjustments as I was going. I'm going to add another one in on the side here. And then I'm going to separate the pages out first, and then I'll do the trimming, saving anything that I think I can reuse here on the spread. And you can see if you make a cut of one of the stickers, if it's enough for you to really see what it is, it really does help make things feel a little bit fuller to add in those extra trimmings. I'm just gonna save the ones I think I can reuse for now and start laying those in. I love the little extraness that it adds, those, bits and pieces. It just really makes it feel like it's coming down from the top of the page instead of just floating there in space. So I'm going to go ahead and darken up the lettering here a little bit where I brushed over with the ink. And once I'm done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!